So today I decided to come down here to Spring Valley, New York to visit my parents at their graves. And I actually haven't been here in quite a while. And I came here because I like to come here when something important happens in my life and share it with them. I mean, I used to come visit here like every week when I lived up in this area. And even when I lived in the city for years and years, I came up here at least once a week, once a month minimum if I was really crazy busy. But now I live a little bit further away upstate, and I don't know, maybe I'm just being lazy. I just don't come as much. But I, first of all, wanted to say that I'm sharing this part of the video only with my Patreon supporters. Finally, I can actually make this video. I have recorded this like 5 times in different locations in all kinds of different ways and made all kinds of B-roll and did all kinds of beautiful stuff to make this announcement. But every time I went to upload it, I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, you don't have a specific date. Like, you don't have the actual real information. So why are you uploading it? You know, why are you even wasting people's time? Why, you know, like, it just seemed ridiculous. So I just kept recording it because I was excited, you know what I mean? I really wanted to share it, and I was kind of bursting at the seams, and this was some kind of unforeseen thing that happened, and total surprise. Hey, what's up, man? All right, so check this out. I made this whole video by my parents' grave. Anyway, yeah, it was kind of deep. I mean, it was very emotional, and I got into the Manhattan Film Festival. Yeah, you know what? I completely forgot that I even submitted. Anyway, let me get to the point. As anybody who follows my channel and follows me and my work knows, you know, I had finished this film. This is the end for me. And I submitted only to the Tribeca Film Festival. Like, that was the only place I was submitting to at the beginning of this journey. And then I was going to figure out where to go from there. But that was kind of the goal, you know. And we got rejected, you know. And I was devastated. I was broken. Even though, you know, I knew it was kind of a long shot to get in, but we got rejected. And I started to question everything in my life. Why am I doing this? What difference does it make? I feel like a bug in the world, like, you know, just like nothing. You know what I mean? And so a couple of months went by. I don't know, I was kind of floundering, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't, you know, I think my composer, Steve Peckman, kept trying to encourage me to set up a screening down in New Jersey, and we were just about to actually do that, but I pulled out because I really didn't want to do it, you know. I'm so tired of generating everything for myself all the time, which, you know, that sounds like a really entitled thing to say, like, oh, I shouldn't have to do it myself, and I have been doing it myself for my whole career. I've generated everything, you know, I've never been given anything, and rarely have I been included in big things, but I've created huge things. And, you know, one thing I'm proud of is that everything that I've done in my career has been about the work, period. No politics, no people that I know, none of that. It's been about the work, and the audiences have received it, and it's always been positive. Honestly, it's always been off the charts. Like, I know what the work is, but I haven't been, you know, included in the bigger spaces like the public theaters of the world, or Steppenwolf, or the Mark Tabor Forum, or Broadway, or whatever. I mean, I've been close a few times, but for whatever reason, nothing like that's ever happened. So anyway, I finished this film on my filmmaking journey part of my life. And yeah, I've been pretty depressed. And one night recently, about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks now, I got an email that said, "Hey, Rock, it's Lucy. Just checking in again, following up. Wanted to know, if you could click on this link and just please fill out this information so we could set up your page. And we're really looking forward to showing your film at the festival." And so, of course, I thought, this is some scam. Like, I'm not going to click on a link, So I walked away kind of disgusted, to be honest. And I thought about it a few hours later, and I thought, for some reason, I remembered that when I looked at that email, I saw the Film Freeway logo. And Film Freeway is a website where you upload your film as a filmmaker, and you could submit to all the festivals from there. It's like the holding spot for your film. It like lives there, and it has all the information, posters, and synopsis and all that kind of stuff, and it sends out to the festivals that you want to submit to, and you could pay through them as well. So I said, you know what, let me go back and check my Film Freeway page, because at Film Freeway, when you get accepted to something, when you log in, the page explodes. You get balloons and confetti and lights and all kinds of craziness. The page is just animated. You get all these colors. Of course, I had already been rejected by Tribeca, and I didn't submit to anybody else, so I didn't really expect to see anything. But I said, let me just check, And also, the email said they were following up, so that made it seem like even more like a scam, because I am ultra responsible with my emails and texts and everything. But in this world, with all the stuff that we're getting, all the spam, and it's just like it's easy to lose stuff. So I just wanted to check, double check. So I logged in, and sure enough, the page starts exploding, just like going crazy. And I look, and I'm like, at first I thought maybe I got accepted to Tribeca. So I go and I look, and then I see, congratulations, the Manhattan Film Festival. And I'm like, I'm an official selection to the Manhattan Film Festival. Like, what is that even? But then I remembered, when I submitted to Tribeca, there was another festival sitting right there in front of me, and it was the Manhattan Film Festival. And I was like, it's a little expensive. It was like, I don't know, $75 or $100, something like that, to submit. Because, these festivals can get very expensive. You submit to 20 festivals and suddenly you're $1,500, $2,000 in. But I decided I'm going to submit to Manhattan because it's a real festival. It takes place at Cinema Village in Midtown, down Union Square. And it's live, and it's a week of, events and stuff like that. If I get in, that would be cool, So I submitted, but I completely forgot about it, like completely. And so, yeah, we got selected, Manhattan Film Festival. And now I actually have a date. It's Wednesday night, June 19th, Juneteenth, which is significant for me because, as anybody knows, I am all about using my work to scream and fight and try to stomp out racism. And even though this particular film is not about that, this is the end of a trilogy for me of exploring my fostering and my adoption and my, kind of ambivalent search for my biological mother and my, relationship with my parents who adopted me and basically saved my life. It's still me, And so I'm really grateful that it's June 19th. It's a Wednesday night. It's at Union Square. It's actually on 12th Street. It's Cinema Village. I don't have the link yet. They're creating the page now, but you'll be able to buy tickets at this link. But I just wanted to make this announcement now that if you want to come to this screening, it would be awesome for me. June 19th, I'm assuming in the evening, 7:30, 8 o'clock, something like that. Downtown Manhattan, or, uptown if you live in Brooklyn, downtown if you live anywhere above 14th Street. It's at Union Square, which is a really significant area for me because I spent, like 3 or 4 years in the poetry world in New York, performing at all of these places in that neighborhood, the New York Poets Cafe, Bar 13, the Bowery, like all these great clubs, you know. And also, I spent so much of my life performing in all the music clubs down there in that area as well. So it's kind of like a full circle kind of thing. And of course, I'm so grateful that, in essence, the world debut of my film is taking place in New York City, which will always be my home no matter where I live. And I love where I live now. I love it. You know, I'm up here in upstate New York and I'm really enjoying it. But, you know, New York City is what imprinted who I am. I mean, look, I'm wearing it. You know, I'm the subway guy. I love it so much, and it's meant so much to me, and it's made me who I am. You know, it kind of raised me. And so I'm really grateful that that's where it's going to take place. So I just wanted you to put that on your calendar, June 19th. I will have more information probably before Monday or Tuesday, like tomorrow or the next day. And I'm going to send out mailings to my mailing list, and I'm going to scream about it on social media. I'll put all the information on my Instagram page, my Facebook page, and of course to my Patreon people. Thank you, Patreon people. And so, I'll make another video here, of course, and give the specific information. But I was really excited. And also, I'm going to use this opportunity to show you some of the stuff that I've shot leading up to this moment that I didn't upload because I got some dope B-roll in there. And I went to my parents' grave. I went to, down to the river to some of my favorite places. Like, I really put in the effort to try to make it look beautiful, to make a big deal out of it. And now I'm just sitting here in my living room because before I went out to start my day, I just thought, I have to do this. I have to share this. So I'm going to record this. I'll upload it later tonight. I'm working on a short film right now, so I'm really in the middle of crazy editing and on a time constraint, but I'm going to take the time to upload this definitely. And I'm going to end with this. I've had the good fortune of having an incredible following with my theater work for the last 17 years of my life. You know, I'm so proud to say that every one-off show that I did in New York City for 10 straight years, I sold out. Every single one of them. Every one-off. You know, I've had residencies at theaters like the Medicine Show Theater in Manhattan, Pregonis Theater, a place that I love up in the Bronx. And I've had an incredible, collection of people, or a collective of people who have come to see my plays, sometimes 3, 4, 5 times, because I develop my work in front of people. You know, I get out there in the street, I go to abandoned storefronts, I let people know where I'm at. I'm willing to develop things in front of people. So when it's not quite done, I find that I get the best feedback that way, and plus I think people feel really a part of it that way, because then they get to see the work in stages, and then they see the final production. And in the first case of that was my play Broke Wide Open, where people saw it from a tiny little production where I was just kind of working things out, and 6 years later it wound up off Broadway. And there were so many people who saw that off Broadway production because I did 8 shows a week for almost 6 months. But there were so many people who saw the very first live production that I ever did of that, I can't even call it a production, but they saw the very first performance of that at the Stephen Crane House in Asbury Park, New Jersey, which was kind of like my home away from home for quite a while. So supportive of me. Tom Chesick, rest in peace. He wrote about me. He was a great journalist, and it's going to feel really strange having this film debut without having Tom Chesick write about it. I miss that guy so much. But anyway, I've had this incredible following from New York City to Asbury Park, where I lived for 3 years, and developed a lot of work down there, to all over the country, where I would go to different cities and workshop my work. Brooklyn Quartet, Broke Wide Open, the Red Plaid Suitcase. I go all over the country and, perform in these out-of-the-way kind of places. Art galleries in Seattle, Washington. I was in a warehouse that held these old pinball machines, incredible spaces all over the place. And then all over the world, winding up in London, the Camden Fringe Festival in the middle of these riots. And people from London wound up coming to New York to see my show when it ran off Broadway because they had seen it in the developmental stage in London. I guess what I'm saying is it would be so amazing to have these theater supporters of mine, people who have been the lifeblood of my work, the reason that I do it, the reason that I'm able to do it. It would just mean so much to me if they showed up to this, because, I feel like my filmmaking is like a manifestation of everything that I've done in music and in theater, in poetry, and everything that I've done. I've done so many different things. Filmmaking for me is kind of like a culmination or a kind of a collaboration of everything that I've learned and everything that I know how to do. And I think it's in many ways the highest level of storytelling for me, because I get to do everything. I get to act, I get to write, I get to come up with the idea, I get to direct, I get to figure out how to deal with the lights. I set up the lights here. I get to deal with the set design, I get to be craft services, I get to do everything, And so, as much as nothing will ever replace performing live on a stage in front of people, like, there's something about that live energy that just gives me life. And I love that so much. But filmmaking is equally as important to me now, and equally as fun, and equally as difficult and challenging, which is really important for me too. Like, I don't like to be doing anything that's easy, because I feel like that stagnates me. Like, I want to continue to grow and evolve. And filmmaking is all about solving problems, And so I really hope that my theater people will show up for me. It's going to be so much fun to be in that space, to see the movie on a screen, and to receive the story. I haven't watched it since I got rejected a few months ago, so I'm not going to watch it until it shows up on that screen at Union Square at Cinema Village, and so we'll all get to experience it together. And so June 19th, that's just a few weeks away. I hope to see you there.